Well, hey, hello, and how are you, everybody? You did not wake up from a dream. This is real life. The Buffalo Bills were down 15 points with 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go to the Baltimore Ravens in the fourth quarter. It's their first 15-point comeback victory since 1967 in the fourth quarter. They pull it off 41-40, and the guy who kicked the field goal to win the game wasn't even in Buffalo until Thursday when he caught a red eye. I don't know where you start. I don't know how you make sense of this game, Matt. I don't even know what to say anymore.
No.
Because what the hell did we just watch?
Well, what we watched was, I'll read you the verbatim here that I wrote because I thought this was the story from the game. To describe the Bills' defensive performance on Sunday as embarrassing would be an understatement, blah, 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 blah. The most disheartening thing about all of this was that the offense played good enough to give their team a chance to win, but the defense was putrid, and the offense just couldn't simply keep up. That's what I thought I was going to be talking about. That's what I thought I was going to be writing about. But here we are, the Buffalo Bills get a 41-40 win. That was chaos. Like we've seen.
Madness.
To the Bills' credit, they have a knack for playing in stupid, ridiculous games.
Sure.
That was nuts. That is one of the craziest football games that I've ever witnessed. I still don't really understand how they were able to get a win. Because there's like the layers to it.
So
Even when they got the ball back and had a chance to tie it, they threw a fade to Keon Coleman in the end zone for a 2-point. Like, that's so beyond stupid. And then they stopped the Ravens. They got the ball back. Josh throws an absolute dart to Josh Palmer down the sideline. Practice squad elevation kicker Matt Prater comes in and makes a field goal, it was bananas.
It's like the scene in SpongeBob when like he's trying to find the name and all his like guys are running around his brain on fire.
The name.
The name. I gotta find the right words to describe this game. I don't have them. I don't know anymore. The Bills seemingly just get another one of those breaks. I mean, the defense was getting the brakes beat off of them all game.
Yeah.
Putrid was, I think,
embarrassing. It was an embarrassing defensive performance.
Putrid was honestly, I think you're actually like giving them a little bit of credit. That was horrendous.
Yeah.
The defense, like the safeties looked awful.
Yeah.
The secondary, to like Christian Benford's credit, he looked pretty solid. I thought Dorian Strong had a pretty good game because you didn't have to say too much about maybe that early holding call. But there's so much going on. But then a fumble. Derrick Henry.
The
Ed
guy
Oliver jaws it free, and then I couldn't even see who actually came up with the ball at the end. Was that?
I don't even know.
I don't even remember.
But it's crazy and it's so poetic that Derrick Henry, the guy who gashed them the entire game, was also the guy who made the critical mistake that the Bills were able to capitalize on and give themselves a chance in this game. You know, you talk about the secondary, the secondary wasn't great. The Ravens barely threw this game because they were just so successful running the ball. They were averaging for most of the game more than 10 yards a carry. I'm sure that those numbers are swayed because of the way that the game ended. But it was just like they were moving the ball at will. The Bills, still in this game, gave up 40 points. Simply unacceptable. Mm-hmm. But the offense and Josh Allen and Matt Prater bailed them out. And this is a Keon game, right? There's a lot of little layers to this game. Like, randomly, do you remember who caught the pass to get them into range to score the almost game-tying touchdown that didn't end up being a game-tying touchdown because of the 2-point conversion, then they got the ball back?
It was Keon Coleman.
No, it was Jackson Hawes caught a pass in the middle of the field where he bobbled it, and it was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Jackson Hawes, then he gets stopped on like 2 quarterback sneaks that they attempt. Yep. He gets in. This was just... The fourth quarter of this game, one of the players in the locker room afterwards told me it felt like it was an eternity, and I feel the exact same way.
I feel like I need a cigarette after this game.
I need two.
This is credit to, again, it's Josh Allen. I mean, I think Sean McDermott was asked about it in the press conference, and to the point of like Sean talking about Josh, he couldn't make a mistake. I mean, you had to have flawless football. You got the break with the turnover.
Yeah.
But Josh Allen had to play flawless football.
What was even his stat line?
Oh, I did see on the board. I was walking the setup.
I'm going to look it up.
He now leads the NFL. He almost had 400 yards of passing.
Yeah.
Just under.
Well, congratulations to Josh Allen on winning the AFC Offensive Player of the Week, which will
cool.
inevitably happen. I'm sorry. I'm not being rude. I'm not ignoring everybody. I just kind of want to see what the final stat line from Josh was.
Like 394.
So Josh was 33 of 46 for 394 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also in this game, let's see what he had rushing. I'm doing this, and it's kind of a wonky way of figuring it out. Rushing, he had 14 carries for 30 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he had 4 total touchdowns. Yeah, it was just, another ho-hum day at the office for Josh Allen.
Matt Prater was coaching his son's football team a week ago.
I know.
And then he comes out and kicks it. Like, I'm sorry, I'm jumping around because there's so many things that are coming into my head. I'm like, I don't know how to make sense of it.
I hope everybody watching understands how sporadic and random this all is, because our minds are still spinning. We're recording this probably about an hour and 15 after the game has come to an end, and it just still doesn't feel like the Bills won the game or should have won the game.
50% of the fans were cleared out.
Oh, it was. I mean, you were down on the field.
50% empty.
Yeah.
But I will say, for the fans that were here when it all happened, it was loud.
Oh, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Give the 50% of fans credit who stayed here because they made it loud. It certainly like played a part for sure in terms of just how this game unfolded at the end there too. But that's just something you don't see ever with the ball. Like I've never looked at a team getting beaten so bad. And 50% of the fans are still not here.
Yeah. Look at this. This is from Next Gen Stats from the NFL.
Yeah.
Bills' win probability was as low as 1.1% with 8 minutes and 37 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. That's when they were trailing 40-25. Mm-hmm. This was the most improbable comeback by the Bills with Josh Allen at quarterback, and the 13th most improbable comeback by any team over the last decade. This was poetically insane.
Yeah. I mean, the ESPN one that I looked at had it at 99.1%. Baltimore was favored to win with 4:38 to go, and they're up by 15. Buffalo scored very shortly after that. That's when it started to dip. Buffalo had a 0.9% chance, according to that ESPN probability statistic, with 4:38 to go, and they won the game. I mean, and it's so tough, Matt, because there is so much like on the bad side that you have to talk about with this game. Like
unequivocally.
How horrendously this defense is. But now the Bills are number 1 in the AFC East. And this is a big game. And honestly, now they have a really good slate of games coming up here. They can really pad this out.
Not for nothing. Once again, they gave up 40 points. I got major questions about the defense. The Chiefs lost 0-1. The Ravens lost, and now you have a head-to-head win against the Ravens. The Patriots lost, the Jets lost, the Dolphins lost, the Texans lost to the Rams. The Bengals didn't necessarily look unbelievably impressive in their win against – I mean, like, so many people were going into this season talking about the 1 seed. We need to see substantial growth from the defense to get to that conversation. But the fact that they got a win, it's like take the win, flush it, try and get this thing corrected before you face some of the more elite teams. It's just, it's so unbelievable that in the final home opener inside this stadium, that's what fans and the fans that stayed were rewarded with. It is just like,
so you said poetic.
The ghosts of Bills fans past and players and all of the things that have happened in the stadium. It's like, let's give you one more just ridiculous game.
I don't know where, I mean, you've been a part of, since you covered this team, a lot of crazy games. I think I know that number 1 for you will always be 13 seconds in terms of just how crazy games are. I think a sneaky honorable mention I'll always say is a couple years ago when the Bills lost to the Vikings, the Justin Jefferson catch. For me, this takes a cake. This is by far the craziest, most insane Buffalo Bills game I have ever covered, and I have covered them in 4 to 5 different playoff games.
Yeah, this is very eerily similar with the chaos to the Vikings game. It's just they were on the other side of it.
Yeah.
The thing that I keep thinking about, it's like eerily reminiscent of the Monday Night Football game they lost to the Cowboys all those years ago in 2007, where they got to stop. But it's the opposite because they lost that game. They won this game. They got to stop on a 2-point conversion. It looked like they won, but then the Cowboys recovered an onside kick and kicked a game-winning field goal at the end, and the Bills still found some heartbreaking way to lose. They, this time, just were on the winning end of it. And, like, once again, I believe, and we talked about this a little bit before the game, and I think the first 55 minutes of the game showcased this. I think the Baltimore Ravens are the most talented team in the NFL. I think the Baltimore Ravens are the toughest matchup for the Bills in the NFL because of how effective they can be on the ground and then what Lamar is able to create.
Right.
But they make mistakes.
They do.
And it's not like this was the game. No. They make mistakes way more often than great teams do. So that is the one thing of like, if you are the Bills and you have to play them again down the road, you're going to be worried because Lamar can win a game and Derrick Henry can win a game, but they might make a mistake or two.
Yeah.
That ultimately is the difference between winning and losing. And that's what they did in this game.
I will say too, I think the thing with the Ravens, we've seen it time and time again. And I don't want I remember a couple years ago when the Bills had they beaten the Chiefs in the divisional round, would have went to Baltimore to play, so that would have been different. I mean, that was a team where they lost at home. They don't do well on the road either. I mean, the Bills have had their number here in Orchard Park when it comes to the regular season and the playoffs so far. In Baltimore, it's been a different story when these two teams match up for sure. A couple of years ago, I think the Bills did get one late. I think that was like the Jordan Poyer late interception game where they pulled out a win too. But if you're a Ravens fan, you're definitely not discouraged by any means of this game because you're going to find ways to beat teams in the NFL. But the Bills just are your little Achilles heel of your unluck charm. We got to get into a little bit of the back because it wasn't all good. I don't even know how you.
It was brutal. I mean, the defense, the safety play was horrendous.
The safety. That's such. I don't even know. Concern is not even the right word anymore. I think there's an immediate need. It has to be addressed.
I think if they didn't win this game, this video would have started with get Jabril Peppers on the next flight.
Yeah.
He should take the red eye Matt Prater took to get to Buffalo. But listen, they did make a couple plays at the end. To their credit, the tackling was bad. The safety play was bad. Yeah. Really, the only redeeming thing I have to say about the defense as a whole was Ed Oliver was really good in this game.
Unbelievable.
Ed Oliver caused the fumble at the end. Yeah. He had a sack against Lamar on their first drive that forced a field goal. He had a tackle for loss later in the game. A huge
stop against Derrick Henry that actually forced a punt that got Josh Allen to their first touchdown on the comeback.
So Ed Oliver, gold star. Everybody else, not gold star.
Joey Bosa.
He was hard on himself after the game. I thought that
Bronze star.
Sure, that's fine.
Bronze star.
He got better as the game went on with contain. A couple times he did the wrong thing, he bit a little bit too much. They're just such a hard team. I think one of the things that we were going to probably talk about if they lost this game, even if the game was crazy, chaotic, they don't get the 2-point conversion, the Ravens get the first down, they win the game.
Right.
I think one of the things we would probably talk a lot about is hey, this is the Ravens, and I do think that that's important. This is maybe the hardest offense in the NFL to defend.
Yeah.
I think that, it should look better against some of the teams that they have coming up.
Right.
That said, they made Derrick Henry look like a combination of Barry Sanders and Marshawn Lynch tonight, basically.
Yeah, there's a lot of happy Derrick Henry fantasy football owners out there.
Yeah, but there's even
for
more happy Josh Allen fantasy football owners. And if you have both of them, congratulations. You won this week.
You won single-handedly with two people.
Give me, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're good.
Give me a shout out. Because we should probably wrap this up.
Yeah, because we're just going to mindlessly talk nonsense because that's what this game is.
We're rambling right now. Give me a shout out.
Oh,
just somebody who you were impressed with who we didn't talk about.
Oh man, shout out somebody that I was impressed with. It's a great question, Matt Bove, because we kind of, Christian Benford?
That was
fun. Christian Benford's on, because guess what? You didn't have to talk about Christian Benford. He handled his business again. Prove why he's a cornerback one for this team.
I was going to say, we mentioned briefly Jackson Hawes, but he made a big play when it mattered.
Yep.
This was a Keon Coleman game. I hate the fade call for the 2-point conversion,
Dumb.
but the diving catch that he made off of the deflection was ridiculous.
Crazy.
He had that catch at the end of the game that put them into position to kick the field goal that they ultimately won on. This was a little bit of a coming out party for Keon Coleman.
Oh, for sure.
Now he needs to stack it and continue. But the thing, the Ravens secondary is legit. So it took a while for the Bills to get going, but then when they did, I think Keon Coleman's a big reason why. I think Josh Palmer made the nice catch at the end. That was huge.
The last 5 minutes of Josh Palmer, that's build on that. That's good stuff. I thought Dalton Kincaid had great start to it. Didn't do anything that's necessarily bad. I think when you're looking at what do you need to see more from Dalton Kincaid? Growth. That's a good game for him to build on. He's going to like the tape there too. Camera's starting to blink, so we should wrap this up.
All right, smell you later. Bye, guys. See ya.